Welcome to the stream.
Are we actually live?
Yes, we are
live.
Are
you sure? Wait, are you?
Yeah, see? We're live.
Double?
Over here, we're good.
Triple sure?
We're good.
For sure, for sure?
100%. And
for real?
picking up audio.
Okay. Audio works. We're live.
No questions.
We said we were live.
Oh, shoot. We forgot to go live. No, I'm just kidding.
Stop it. You're so terrible.
Cameron, what's up, buddy? How about this?
Cameron!
How about the chat tells us, can you hear us? Can you see us?
Are we live?
Are we live?
Is this a real thing?
It is now your guys' responsibility.
Can
I what?
Switch back to the
Well, this is the
one
you like, you said last night.
No, I just wanted to see
That's
if
the one you
I'm, like, in camera. You're so mean to me.
I am not. Ulysses Moltavo, I hope I'm saying that right, says, yes, it is live. Cameron says, I see and hear the stream. You guys are live this time.
Okay, so for those who weren't here last night, I started painting this dragon, right? And so I was out here nice and early, right? Earlier than what I usually am. And we're having this great conversation about this PDF book. And, like, things are going great. But, like, weird things are happening in the chat. Like, things are getting weird.
We got to hear about physical therapy sessions.
There were, like, conversations, and, like, we're asking the chat questions, and, like, nobody's saying anything. And we're like, wow, they don't really like us much tonight, right? Turns out we were just sitting, not live, on, like, waiting to stream, like... What do you even call that? Like, just overlay.
We weren't even on
like
that. No,
we're on like a pre-stream.
No, we weren't even on that. It never went live at all. Like the button never went. Like I don't know if I clicked it and it just didn't take. I don't know what happened.
But we just like sat here for an hour and a half, and like I'm just here to say though that there's a couple people like who hung out in that chat.
Yeah. Like
waiting the entire time to be like.
It was crazy because during the pre-stream then, before we actually hit live, there were like points where it was like 12 people waiting. Had no idea that we weren't live. We're like, wow, there's like 12 people in here and none of them are talking. What the heck is going on?
Yeah, like this is some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I guess it's
I made it up though. I made it up to you guys. I did a stream dedicated strictly to that PDF. I showed the PDF off today, so if you guys want to go check that out, you can see all about the Advanced Player's Guide for Pathfinder 2nd Edition there. If you have questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. But right now I do not have that PDF open. I don't technically have any intentions of opening it. But if I have to, I will. But before we get into anything, if you want to support the channel, we do have a Patreon. So that's one way. Another good way is by purchasing... something from one of our Amazon affiliate links, which I believe we have for these mini painting streams, the Citadel handle. If you don't want the Citadel handle, that's fine. Click on that and you can go buy something else you're already planning on buying. Another thing you can do is go over to the Master the Game store and get your very own Master the Game merchandise. We got shirts, we got tote bags, like shopping bags or whatever.
You can get yourself a fancy pair of leggings. If you want to.
Sure. I think I took those out of the store because you were complaining.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were cool.
You guys, it was weird. I'm like, no, if I love leggings and I'm not going to wear them, zero chance.
I have a feeling that I'm going to be buying her some leggings in the near future.
If you buy me those.
I think she'll like them. Watch her love them. The Master of the Game or the awkwardly nerdy ones. Ooh, I could do the rainbow pant ones. The rainbow D20 ones.
Oh, okay. Now you're getting a little bit better.
You can put that on your butt. Big old rainbow D20.
On my butt?
Yep.
Great, cool.
No, I don't know. I don't know how all that works. But anyways, so yeah, you can go over to the store and support us that way. All that good stuff. Or just, come hang out with us. That's cool too.
Yeah, talk to us.
Yeah, be engaging in the chat. Let's have a good time.
We're not naturally exciting.
Oh, I mean,
know.
Speak for yourself. I'm the most exciting person in the world.
I'm not naturally exciting.
Also, before we jump in, tomorrow night at about this same time, we will have Dicey Encounters on, the owner of that, and he's a voice actor as well, so we will have him on.
Well, that should be interesting.
Saturday is Tyranny of Dragons, the very first episode.
Yeah, it's like our session 0 plus session 1.
Yeah.
I think you've played with everybody before, and so I think everybody knows what to expect from like a session 0 typical standpoint, whatever.
Paul, starting a basic white girl collection, are you? Of course. Roll stats. The Master of the Game leggings look freaking fantastic on me. Just saying. I gotta see the picture, man. I gotta see the pictures, roll stats.
So
I will totally put that on my website if you send me a picture of that.
I know someone who used to like help like a marketing team at like a local grocery store or whatever, who had a suggestion for like a basic white girl sale, and it was like pumpkin spice and like flannel scarves and
Ugg boots.
You know, it was great. They didn't go for it though. Pumpkin spice,
right?
You know, everything. Candles.
So anyways, so Sunday, I'm gonna try and film some videos Sunday. I don't think we're gonna do any live stream Sunday.
Ooh, Roll Stats has premium snaps.
Oh, of course.
Is that part of like a Patreon level or something? Like, what level do you have to buy in to get the premium snaps, Roll Stats? Like, your audience wants to know.
Anyways, Paula's excited. Monday, 8:30 p.m., we will be talking to Alex Gillette, one of 3 people who's associated with Critical Hit Publishing. Another one is DBJ. I don't know who the third one is. I'm assuming Rob Davis, maybe, but I don't know.
I feel like now you need to find out.
I will. I'll ask him Monday.
How do you not know?
Because I don't know. Wednesday and Thursday, we will hopefully be finishing this. I doubt it. Paula thinks it won't take long. That would be 4 sessions total of painting this. I don't think she'll be done. If I had to guess, I'm going to say far. 6.
Like, look at the base is pretty well.
Yeah, but that's not even close to done.
You know, I can't even be in this camera because I don't understand what I'm doing with my life.
You just literally hold it like you're looking straight down.
Stop.
It's easy. Stop. Anyways, and then next Friday we're playing Rad Wasteland, which we all have to make our character still. Nobody has. Oh
gosh, we're such failures on that.
I know. And then the Black Rock Adventures game the day after that on Saturday. So that's next week. Next week is packed. The following week is just as packed. I'm going to be talking with the guys from Table Talk, Discussions, and Discourse, D&D, right? We have then the patron chat, the 2 miniature painting, which is when I think we'll finish this. And then I have Nerdarchy Dave that Friday.
Oh, that'll be a fun one.
And then we have our Pathfinder one-shot. So that's the next 2 weeks. We're pretty packed around here.
Friday daytime or Friday...
Friday evening, 8 p.m. I will be talking to Dave. Whoa. Love Dave.
Sorry, I actually don't know a ton of people necessarily in the community, but I know who Dave is, so...
Paul says, Han Solo season is only a few short months away. It's the greatest time of the year. The vests and everything. I love those pictures where it shows, like, the 6 girls, like, all dressed like Han Solo. Roll Stats says, I don't know how that works. That chick left without giving instructions on how one acquires the premium snaps. I mean, I can offer that to my patrons if they want. If they want premium snaps, you just got to support me at the $100 level over there. If you look really hard, you'll find that $100 level hidden. And once you go to that level, I will give you access with a special code to the one and only premium snaps. What is?
Dude, you better be careful. Somebody's going to call you on that.
Oh, no, they'll find it. They just got to find the actual premium snaps reward tier. Again, it's hidden. It's very secret. And once they find that, should be no problem.
Good luck, y'all.
Right. So, yeah, we got a lot of good stuff going on. Today, someone who used to be very active in my Discord messaged me, and they're like, dude, I checked your Discord for the first time in a while. He didn't really say that, but he was like, dude, your Discord is growing like crazy right now. And I was like, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So what that means is if you're looking for people to hang out with and you're looking for people to talk RPGs with, seems like it might be a good place to do that.
Right? I agree. So in other words, if you want to join the Discord, you can see... Well, first of all, if you join the Patreon, you're going to see the pictures from the mini painting tonight. if you're in my Discord, you might see them tomorrow night. And then, otherwise you'll see them in a few days or whenever I decide to put them up on Instagram and stuff. So, anyways, that's kind of like the rewards, how I do things, right? I reward my patrons first, then I reward my Discord people, and then I just put it out there into the world. So there's that. Also on Discord, we have channels for talking about RPGs. If you just want to talk about, how your kids are stressing you out, we talk about that over there in the off-topic discussion thread, which a lot of parents over there vent about that. It's fantastic.
I may have yeah, never mind. Fine.
We'll get into that in a little bit. We have a sports discussion channel, which there's no sports going on, so it's kind of quiet in there right now. We have a video game one. We have, all sorts of stuff. If you're looking to play a game with someone, we have a channel for that, and you can find people to run or play games with. We've had some pretty decent success with that. In fact, you can tell when someone seems to find a group, all 4 of those people kind of disappear for a while. Until that game falls apart, and then 1 or 2 of them trickle back in and start talking again.
Okay, we came back.
Right. So it's all good though. So yeah, Paul, you need to make your Rad Wasteland character. So Rad Wasteland is a post-apocalyptic wild west with high technology. So you got like robots and stuff like that.
Sounds super dynamic.
Yeah, it's really cool. It uses.
So you've played it before, though, right?
Yes, but I played it when it was basically a carbon copy of Fantasy Flight Games Star Wars. So it uses those narrative dice, or it did used to use those narrative dice. It had some stuff that was changed, like the classes were changed and stuff like that. But it used the core mechanics of that. Well, now it uses different dice, different narrative dice. I don't know how he's going to reflect that because I don't know if he created his own dice bot. I have no clue. But we are play testing it. We are all going to be giving the creator feedback on character creation and things like that. So I'm pretty excited to try to do that. However, it's using a Google Doc, which is not... I'm not a big fan, of digital usually. Digital products are hard for me to really read and jump around to where I need to. But I will do my best. So we'll see how it goes.
You got this. I believe in you.
Yeah, I'm basically gonna try to go for a gun wielding, badass. That's kind of where I'm going because it's simple.
I have a very important question.
Yep.
Lasagna Druid.
Yes. He's someone who's found a group through our
Can you explain
Discord before
where the name Lasagna Druid came from? I have so many questions about it, but I don't know.
Clearly he's a druid who loves lasagna.
But you gotta like lasagna a lot to be it's I don't know.
Have you seen our kids tonight when we had lasagna? They do like lasagna a lot. It is a pretty fantastic food when you make it unhealthily. When it's got all the worst for you ingredients.
I guess I don't know that I've ever liked lasagna that much.
Oh, well, you're out of your mind. See, Lasagna Druid loved playing Rad Wasteland. It was fun. See, he had a blast with it too. So, it's going to be a good time. But yeah, Lasagna Druid, I think, has found 2 groups through our Discord. And both times he's kind of disappeared and then came back.
I get that.
Oh yeah, no, he's cool. He's cool. He's actually looking into Pathfinder a little bit right now.
Ooh.
Which I don't know. I didn't see you earlier today if you watched my video of my stream about the Advanced Player's Guide. If you did, I'd love to hear your feedback on that. That video, that stream, is actually doing pretty well right now. I was kind of surprised how many people were there live because it was a day stream. But even since then, I've had 70 views since I did it. So it's over 100. Actually, shoot, it's done even more than that. It's done 120 views since I streamed. So we're up to 156 views on that. So that's kind of cool. But anyways, yeah, I would love your feedback on that if any of you watched that, because that's doing pretty well right now. What do we got here? Paul Ross. In the book, there is a conversion chart with custom symbols just by the character sheet. It's still very similar to Genesis/Star Wars. Yep, that makes sense. Obviously, he's a fan of that, and he likes that style. So, Lasagna Druid. Everyone asks me it, LMAO. It's kind of an inside joke with the very first D&D character I had. Well, now we want to hear the inside joke. We got to hear the story.
Like, did your druid, like, make lasagna for the party one night? Or, like...
Right?
You know? I don't know.
These are the hard-hitting questions.
These are the important things that, like, your fans want to know.
My fans want to know
AKA,
where Lasagna Druid got his name from.
AKA me. Like, it's just me. But, you know.
Lasagna Druid said, yeah, Pathfinder doesn't have as many videos on it on YouTube, so it's a bit of an untapped topic as of right now. SO2 Joker, smoking and lurking. Sup, y'all. So, yeah, Pathfinder...
See, even Cameron wants to know the story. Sorry.
I know, right?
Continue on.
So Pathfinder's been out for a while now. Like, so there should be. In fact, I've talked to content creators who Paizo reached out to about doing reviews back when it first launched. And it sounds like they didn't get the books to some of their hands before the game came out. And so, like, a couple people in particular didn't end up doing the videos because they wanted to do it before it came out. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know why a lot of people didn't really dive into it, because it looks fantastic. And everyone I know who's played it a few times really enjoys it. So, it's, I don't know. I think it sounds cool. I've obviously read the core rulebook for a total of like 15 hours. And now I've probably, just in the advanced one, I put in like 3.5 hours.
So, do you think, though, that it's just because, like, there are so many rules that a lot of people stuck with first edition Pathfinder and didn't jump to second?
No,
they didn't make videos about it? Or, like,
no, I think...
why do you think there's not a lot out there?
I think the popularity of 5e is why.
It's too much. Like, it's just in comparison.
Easy. Yeah, it's easy to find people to play 5e. It's not as easy to find people to play other games. So think about it. If we, say we have just play in person, we don't play online, right? So we look at just our in-person groups.
Yeah, there's like nobody.
Nobody plays Pathfinder. So if we were to say, hey guys, do you want to try Pathfinder 2nd Edition? Your family game, they're not going to be interested in that, especially if I tell them there's more rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you have more options, and you don't have to play a healing cleric. You don't have to, play a character that's just like what you've played ever since the 80s, like, and fits that stereotype. They're not going to want to play that. They like 5e because it's simple, but they can still play the stereotypes. And that's basically what they expect out of those classes and stuff.
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't know that we haven't really tried to find anybody local, though.
Well, with your brother, we tried to see if he wanted to play Fantasy Flight Star Wars because we knew he was a Star Wars fan all his life. And he had no interest in playing that RPG.
Yeah.
None. Which was surprising to me. So I think a lot of it just comes down to accessibility. And, again, I think there's far more people in this hobby that are just casual fans, right? They're not diehards. I think diehards will play it. They'll play anything at least once.
I mean, that's true because I probably wouldn't play if
I agree, roll
you
stats.
Didn't ask me to play.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, I'm gonna, buy the books and set up the group, and it's like you just have to, make a character and show up.
Right.
At 6:00. Like, okay, perfect. I can do that.
So I'm going to catch up on chat here before I continue. But Lasagna Druid said, I played a druid, and the first thing I ever did was turn into an orange cat and start going about shenanigans, walking upright and messing with NPCs. Okay.
Oh, perfect. Garfield.
Cameron says, people say Pathfinder 2e is like D&D 4e, so it has a bad reputation. So Cameron, a lot of people have said Pathfinder 2e is D&D 5e like Pathfinder. It's not. It's its own thing. I don't know if it's like 4e. I never played 4e. I don't own 4e. I've never read 4e. It doesn't seem board gamey to me, and that's the gripe I always heard about 4e. It also has a lot of versatility from, like, depending on who you talk to. I know one person who claims it's basically just a combat simulator, and I don't know why they think that, because there's a lot of things you can do with skills. There's a lot of skill-based feats. There's a lot of general feats that's give you one-off instances of things you can do outside of combat and stuff that are related to those. So I don't agree with that person's assessment, and I don't agree with necessarily that comparison of 4E based on what I've heard of 4E. So Rollstat says...
we haven't played 4E, though.
No.
Neither one of us has.
Right. Rollstat says you don't have to do that in any game. Correct, Rollstats. I agree.
You don't have to do what?
He's talking about how playing the stereotypical cleric or the stereotypical
yeah. No.
However, our experience with the old school gamers we've played with in person, every single one of them has always expected you to play up the role that the class has seemed to be intended for. When we played with that guy who played with Nate and Dustin and all of us, he played a ranger, but he expected the cleric to be a healer. He expected this person to do that, and he expected all roles to be covered. Same thing with when we play with her family, who's been playing D&D since the 80s. Same thing. Like, if you're not using healing spells as a cleric, they get kind of perturbed about that, right? So, I agree though, Rollstats. You never had to play a cleric that just ran around and healed. I 100% agree with you. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who think you do need to fill the certain roles. Not my way of playing at my table though. I never encourage people to fill a certain role. In fact, I don't like when they're like, well, what is everyone else playing? It's like, I don't care. You make what you want, man. And then we'll fit it in. And if it's something that's not unique, I'll let you know.
Oh, see, I always feel like I asked that question because I don't want to play the same thing.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you if somebody else is playing what you want to play.
Yeah.
But I don't want to sit there and be like, well, we got the cleric over here. And yep, they're a healing type. And oh, yeah, we got the tank and the fighter over here, And oh, yeah, we got a wizard and we got a rogue. I don't want to get into all that. Paul Ross says, more money in D&D right now. The market is saturated with D&D. Oh, yeah, it's everywhere. Our friend's bookstore in town carries D&D books now.
She just got some in today.
I know. I was really excited about that. We have a gaming store that's 5 doors down from her. But, yeah, she's now carrying it. Her store's tiny. It's a little bit bigger than my game room, but not much.
It's bigger than this.
Yeah, but not by much.
No, it's bigger than this.
You think so? It's longer and skinnier? Is that why?
No, it's wider.
Is it? Okay. Well, either way, it's not much bigger. I bet if I measured it, right here we're 21 by 13. Her building alone is at least 40 feet long or deep. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it's not, my point is it's not like a Barnes and Noble or a Borders or something. You're not walking into a massive bookstore.
No, it's like a local, used bookstore.
Right. Lasagna Druid, yeah, D&D 4E always seems to be talked about like it's a very rigid and super on rails with how it's supposed to be played. Yeah, I don't know. 4E didn't sound that bad to me from a mechanical standpoint. Like, the stuff that sounded bad to me was how long combat would be because of how many hit points things had. But Sly Flourish did a book about 4E and how to, make it easier and quicker. And I think that made it sound actually really good from what I heard. SO2 Joker, old school has so few mechanical bits. You are super tilted towards what you do have. Yes. Yep. Rollstat says that is an assessment of the players, though, not the system. Yeah, no, I agree, Rollstat.
No, that's true.
But, trying to train, everybody you play with to play how they don't, naturally fall into playing is sometimes very difficult. Especially when they've been doing it for 30 years. Because we're still struggling a little bit with that.
When it comes to, we say, oh, my family, sometimes it's my brother and his wife and their kids, so they've learned
they've
do
all
the
learned
same
how to play it the same way.
things. Yeah, and some
Yeah.
people like to cover all your bases. It's
Mhm.
just that I don't know that that's
Even
how
my experiences online, everyone
you know,
seems to want to fill the roles a lot of like in
your
most games.
your preference to play.
Right.
I think everybody plays differently at the end of the day.
I was thrilled a few years
all
back
good.
when I got everyone in a campaign to agree to play elves. I was like, hey guys, if you all play the same race, I'll let you guys have like a first level feat. I was like, I'll give you a mechanical advantage if you all play like whatever. And the first couple people said elves, and that's what made me think that. And so when the rest played elves, I was like, cool, everyone gets a feat.
And that was because it was like a storyline thing, though. Like
Well, I tied it to the story.
something.
It was actually a module that had nothing to do with all playing the same races.
Oh.
But I made it. I worked that in there. I was really excited about it. Because I like the idea of doing stuff like that. Like if I had a bunch of people who were willing to, and they all wanted to play fighters, like all dwarven fighters, that would be cool as shit. Or all bards.
Oh, I feel like all wizards would be interesting.
So yes and no.
So,
I feel like that for me as a DM might be difficult, unless some of them are like, yeah, but like I'm gonna get some armor and I'm gonna make it so I could stand up front, or like they're gonna do things to make themselves.
I think everybody would like. It'd
still be cool.
You'd have to do something, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, you know that you're going to be a
combat.
Group of.
That's what they do. Everyone goes invisible.
Wizards or something.
Or flies to the end of the level.
Yeah, everybody casts levitate.
Yeah. Lasagna Druid, true. I've never personally played it, so I can't really make any judgments about it. Yeah, the people that have talked about Pathfinder that I've seen, most of them haven't played it. They glanced at like the playtest and they're like, oh, this is basically like 5e, but like, I don't know. It's nothing like 5e, so I don't know why they get that. Or I've seen people say, oh, it's a dumbed down version of first edition Pathfinder. And it's not a dumbed down version. It's a streamlined version. It still has a lot of the complexities that make it good, but it's balanced a lot better. I don't feel like the combinations of things are really wonky and make things so out of whack like in the first edition so far. Even looking at the new book, the Advanced Player's Guide, I'm surprised that I don't go, oh yeah, and this will stack with this, and now you're gonna be a Banff at like second level. Like I don't feel that way. You know? Maybe
you just haven't gotten far enough into it yet.
I don't know. I've looked at a lot of stuff, and normally things stand out to me, and I'm like, yeah, mix that with this. Cool. Come on, that's what I do. I theory craft, like, OP builds all the time, like, for 5e and stuff.
I know, and you say that I'm the power gamer.
I don't necessarily play it up and then spam it, though. You know you're a power gamer. We've talked about this on camera where you've said stuff, and I'm like, see? That's why you're power gamer. And she's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah. You'd be like, oh yeah, that is power gamer. Like, so you've admitted it.
Yeah, but like, I'm just saying, you give me so much crap for it, and like, you're over there constructing OP builds, and I'm just over here like, I think a druid sounds fun.
Druids are OP. In 5e they are. Especially at low levels. So Cameron says 4e was so frustrating, my DM really forced the whole powers thing. If he wasn't a friend who listened when we said we wanted to switch to Pathfinder, I would have stopped playing with him. I don't think Pathfinder 2e is like 4e, by the way. Paul Ross, 4e felt more like a board game than an RPG. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. I thought that's what I heard as well. It was a nice game for a one-shot, but didn't enjoy it in the long run. In fact, I think that's the system they use for their board games. And everyone says their board games are fun, but you go into it expecting a board game, not a role-playing game, and it works. So, I don't know.
I don't understand how it would feel like a board
because
game if it's a role-playing game.
Everything is perfectly balanced. Everything is like a combat power. There's not like a lot of role-playing things. So, like, everyone can, like, control on the battlefield. Everyone can do damage. Everyone can do, whatever. But, like, they call them different based on what class you are and stuff. I don't know. I don't know a lot about it. I'm just saying what I've heard. Cameron, sometimes attempting to get people to change isn't the right thing to do. I agree. Trying new things once is a different story. I've been encouraged to change my style for games before, and it felt bad. So in our Tomb of Annihilation game, I wasn't trying to change anyone's style. When we made characters, someone was like, well, who's going to be the cleric? And I said, well, I'm playing a Dragonborn cleric. And I told him up front, I'm a Tempest cleric. I didn't say I wasn't going to be like running around healing and stuff, but I said I'm a Tempest cleric. When we got to session 1, I told them up front, I said, yeah, just so you guys know, I didn't prepare any healing spells today. I didn't. My goal with that character was not to just have healing spells and pick people back up while fighting. My idea was I was going to deal damage to people, and that's how I was going to play my cleric. But I didn't want to sway them in their character building, and I didn't want them to expect me to heal, which they still tried to expect me to heal 24/7. And anytime a healing thing came up, I was like, no.
We just one of the characters ended up being a paladin.
She already was a paladin.
You know?
But yeah, she ended up focusing more on healing.
Yeah, she ended up focusing more on healing because she was really concerned about it.
Yeah, and her husband was concerned too. Cameron says, I doubt you would be as pushy as the people I ran into, though. Yeah, I'm not pushy at all. I don't give a crap what people play or how they play. Like, you can play what you want, how you want at my table. But when you start telling me how to play my character, player to player, that ain't cool. That's not happening. If in character you're trying to tell my guy to memorize healing spells, well then in character I'm going to tell you why my character doesn't do that. Or why he doesn't do it as much as you want, right? And that's just the way it is. Paul Ross, there were some nice bits of 4E and have been included in 5E, but was happy when it went away from having 4 roles with classes being the same in that role with different set dressing. Yeah, exactly. Joker said, best way to change somebody's style is from their system, I think. Slowly introduce new elements. When they react well to one, sell that up. You can eventually make a convert. Long 4E games were tough. I ran one in college for 8 players, and a session would take all day, and not in the good way. Yeah, I bet you that was a good boss battle for, a full day. I've heard some boss battles could take like 5 hours because of how many hit points they have. Yes.
Like, how many hit points are you talking about? Like, I need examples.
I don't know.
I need information.
Hey, Joker, pull a dragon stat block for me. I'm sure you got 40 books.
Well,
still.
No. Give me, just like a regular,
I mean, a goblin would work because that's a
level,
level 1 thing.
monster or something like that. Like 6
Give us a Gorgon
monster.
or something.
Yeah.
Or a Medusa. Those are kind of
Yeah. That's like a,
Cameron says, all the 4E effects for powers were in every class, and wizards were relegated to only control. 4E monsters are awesome, but being a player was meh. I still steal stuff from that game, though. Paul says, poor summer child, nothing of OP druids. With not play 3.5. Hey, we're essentially a one-man party when fully optimized. Oh, they. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in 5E, druids are like that. Like, there's no reason. When we started playing Tyranny of Dragons at Adventurers League, and the same group got killed in the first, 2 encounters, back-to-back with different characters, that's when everyone's like, well, what can we do to make it through at least the first 3 encounters? And so, someone was like, well, I'll make a druid. And someone else was like, yeah, I'll be a barbarian. And so we had, 2 druids, a barbarian, and then, a rogue, or a rogue, because you can't be an assassin at first level. And they were a rogue, so they could, stay back, but then still get sneak attack damage. That was the only way they could think of how to survive in Tyranny of Dragons the first few encounters.
So Saturday's game is going to go well.
Yeah, but you guys aren't first level.
He's saying.
You guys aren't first level. We're starting at 3rd.
Yeah, but
that's different. You get 3 times the amount of hit points that they did.
Just saying.
So that should get you to at least the 3rd encounter.
Just saying.
Oh, don't worry. It'll be fine. Lasagna Druid. Yeah, we had a player who never paid attention to the game. Just sat on their phone the entire time and then got upset when they couldn't just run around and blow shit up with no consequences. Cameron said, LMAO at the summer child bit. Yeah, I guess, so again, I don't care how people play the game. It's when they start telling me, well, you're a cleric, you need to heal. Or, oh, well, we've already chosen what we're going to be, and we need a rogue, so you need to be a rogue. No. Don't tell me what to play. Like, if you think something's cool, that's one thing. But to tell me, like, hey, we need this role to be filled, you need to play this, that doesn't sit well with me. Like, I'm automatically wall up, defiant, not wanting to do that. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, I see that all the time. And even when I play something like that, I don't play it to the role. Like, for example, I might play a rogue assassin that has no skills for, like, sleight of hand. Like, he's not a thief. He's a stealthy, like, assassin or something. Like, that's probably the most fun I'll have as a rogue. But going and, like, unlocking doors and stuff is not interesting to me. So, I don't know. What do you think, Paula?
I mean,
do you like being told, hey, we need this role, you should play this?
No. I think that some people do it just so you know, like, well, here's the type of characters that we already have.
From your experience, that's why they do it? Just to let you know? Or are they actually trying to get you to play that thing?
Well, it depends. Like, maybe somebody will be like, oh, we have these 3 characters and we're playing this type of campaign, so, like, suggestions. And you might be like, oh, well,
right.
Descent to Avernus, like, oh, well, maybe be like a tiefling or an Aasimar. If you guys don't have one, they get, like, additional,
Yeah.
So you can do it. And so sometimes I think people ask those questions because they're just, like, not sure, like, well, what is good for this module or whatever, because sometimes modules just seem like, oh, there's a dragon in the first scene, and it's like, well, I don't know, they're just gonna figure it out, like, you know what I mean? They're not balanced.
Yeah.
So sometimes people are looking for advice, like, in that regard. So,
yeah, it still kind of goes against how I would say it.
I see a lot of people post, like, hey, what type of character should I be?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
here's the thing, too, right? So, I'm not going to give any spoilers here, and I'm not saying that this will happen because they probably won't, but there's no reason that, like, a character dropping to 0 hit points and failing their death saves has to be, like, the end-all. Like, Tyranny of Dragons, for example, right? There's no reason if they die that they have to be dead in the first couple encounters. Like, you could basically say they get rescued by clerics and fast forward, like, a couple scenes, you know what I mean? And you're not missing out on anything other than, like, just a bunch of combats and stuff.
Lots of fighting.
Yeah. So you're not missing out on anything story-wise.
I don't think a lot of people do stuff like that, though.
No, they don't. They're like, oh, an RPG, when this happens, you're dead. When this happens, you're like, people feel confined by the rules, whereas I feel like there's so much more you can do with it if you look at it from a story perspective. Like, especially when you're talking about these people are supposed to be heroes at some point. Yeah, first level, they're not that, epic, right? But experiencing defeat is a good thing for a low-level party. It makes victory that much sweeter down the road, And so if they get dropped in the beginning, you're like, yeah, but you wake up and you're all in a hospital bed. Like...
But maybe they're also supposed to lose, so then that creates whatever storyline it is that,
right.
Hey, they want to go resolve this in the future. In order to do that, they have to do these 18 steps first.
Yes.
So then it's like, so maybe it's part of the story.
Yep, you're off camera again.
Gosh. The worst.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, that's the thing. And I felt restricted by that in the past, too, when I ran... like Tyranny of Dragons, obviously. So, I just think focusing on the story of it makes it a lot cooler. And if you ask yourself, like, all right, what would make a good story? That's why I've told Erica when she gets all upset that she thinks her character's about to die, like, look, if you really love your character, we'll come up with a cool story as to why they're not actually dead. Like, maybe she's in limbo, and now the players have to find a way to come save her, and you can somehow get a message to the other players that you're in limbo or something.
You know? Schedule that Tomb of Annihilation game.
Yeah, we need to.
I'm like the worst. Guys, I'm the worst.
I've tried to make you do it multiple times. I've let it be, though.
I don't even know what our schedule is.
It's all right. Every Sunday I'm available. SR2... Sorry.
I'll put my secretary on it.
Is that you during the day?
No. This is me saying...
Now you're telling me to do it? Even though you told me not to do it?
This is my delegate button. Delegate.
Even though you told me not to do that before?
Delegate.
So now you're delegating when I was trying to get on you about this 2 months ago. Fine.
Y'all,
look at this, guys. You see what's going on here?
Don't believe him.
I probably have the text somewhere. I've tried to facilitate it. Anyways, SR2 Joker said the action economy and grid stuff was the real slow part. Hit point isn't too insane comparatively. It is just more clunky and things need to be more precise. Gotcha. 5e was a breath of fresh air coming out of that. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, I understand that. I get it.
Do these look pretty good?
From what I can tell, yeah. Yeah, I was looking at them last night. They were fine.
These look pretty good.
Everyone said on the pictures on Patreon.
Well, so like with the Cthulhu, I painted everything kind of like 60% of the way done, and then I kind of put it together and kind of finished off some of it.
I don't think you can do that with this. You're gonna have to paint individual parts and then color match.
Yeah,
this is too big and it's not gonna stay. You can't keep it together to paint. It's too loose. I've already tried to even just move things when they're put together. It falls apart. You know I'm right. That's why you're looking at me like that. Anyways, Paul Ross says, personally, 5e was the first time since AD&D that I actually wanted to run a game of D&D. Yeah, so that was what was nice about 5e2. It was super easy to run games. Like, I felt like I could, especially after I'd done it for a minute, like, I was real cocky, like, 4 years ago. Like, yeah, I'm going to run a one-shot tonight. And then I'd literally be driving in the car and just think up, like, what I was going to do in the game.
Like, we would do that all the time. And I'm like, how do you just, like, do a game that way? Like,
well, one-shots for me were, like, formulas, though.
I can't handle that. Like, I don't have enough information. Like, I don't know what to do.
SR2 Joker was on the playing side of quite a few games that I literally prepped nothing and might not even realize it in some of them. Some of them he's probably like, yeah, this guy doesn't have shit planned. But I don't know. Everyone seemed to have fun, so it didn't matter. Joker says, if you need something and the group doesn't have a person that wants to do it, they should hire a retainer who can. More win. Yes. So that's the other thing I've talked about. So people get stuck in this rut that like, well, this is our party. That's it. And like, why are they not seeking out like the rogue in the city then who can unlock doors if that's what they need? Like when we played 2nd edition D&D with Paula's brother, nobody filled that role. We had like 6 players, right? And you could tell that he was like, what are you guys going to do without a rogue? Or we didn't have a wizard either, did we? We didn't.
No, we did.
Who?
Because I was a sorcerer and Dustin was
you were a druid because you wanted to be the desert druid. Dustin was a ranger. I was a fighter. Patty was a fighter.
That one.
Erica was a cleric. Yeah, we didn't have a wizard or a rogue. Remember? So then he was... so I was like, hey guys, like, we're in town. We need to find someone who has some lockpicking skills to bring along with us. And you could tell our DM was like, yeah, how are you going to find that? Like, they're just going to have a sign on them that says they can pick locks. And I was like, I don't know. We could like go and hang out in the tavern and see if just ask around if anyone's got those skills. Because we're adventurers and we need people to go into dungeons with us. And so he was like, all right, well, there's 2 people here. There's a wizard-looking guy and a rogue-looking guy. Which one do you want to take? Like, we couldn't take both and split the treasure, right? So we kind of worked that out, and I think we took the rogue with us. And then obviously he threw like wizardy traps at us and stuff that we couldn't do anything about. But yeah, it was like this concept.
Like, you're such a dick.
Yeah, there was that because I think we called him a dick too. But like, it's the concept of something that was not in the book, like, is not possible. Like, but it's a role-playing game. It should all be possible. Cameron says, none of my players have ever hired anyone. It's so frustrating. So have you ever...
No, okay,
but have you ever put the idea out there for them?
Some DMs don't let you do it.
Right, but he's saying his players. So he's the DM.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, so... But if you play...
But they don't not do it because one DM doesn't allow it because they never think to ask.
If you play long enough and you keep asking and nobody ever does it, then you're just like, I guess we can't do that. Like,
sure. But
you know,
I
or
don't think that's why the people don't ask. I think people don't know they can't ask because it's not in the book.
or you get like an NPC from your DM and then you just totally forget that the NPC is there with you, like for the entire adventure.
Sometimes.
You know, like
Sometimes.
specifically if your NPC's name is like Rhea.
Yeah, and Jake forgot last session.
You know, you.
I forgot about her too until afterwards.
Well, and the worst part is,
and she's important to the story.
Halfway through the session, he was like, "Oh, dang, guys, I forgot I was supposed to be playing her," and then he never ended up playing her. Like,
he didn't need to. Yeah.
He still didn't end up doing anything.
Right.
He was like, "Oh, okay."
O'Neill Flynn says, or use the sidekick now to do the stuff you don't want to do. Yeah, send them ahead so they can die in the trap. And now it sets a precedent, and everyone's like, holy cow, this is a dangerous dungeon because it just sawed that guy in half. Like,
right.
Which, again, as a DM, if you want to set that tone, and if you want to, like, you know, get rid of that NPC for whatever reason, it's a great story device. So I'm all for that. But no, so we've talked about this before, right, Paula? Where you say, well, it's because DMs always say no. And I don't think most players ever ask because they don't know they can ask because it's not in the books. It's that whole thing we've talked about that even Roll Stats has said. When you have too many rules, people don't realize like what they can and can't do because it's got to be in writing because it's so specific. But again, even in old editions from my experiences with certain people that I've played with or seen play, it still doesn't get asked, and even in rules light systems. You know what I mean? Because people still put the game in a tiny, like, put everything in a little box and don't think outside the box. That's why the whole idea of thinking outside the box in a role-playing game is always something that I try to emphasize, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know.
Like, if you guys wanted to buy an army of people to work with you, cool. Yeah, I'll let that happen. You're going to bring in, like, 10 mercenaries? Great. I'm cool with it.
Somebody's going to pay them.
I mean, yeah, they're going to be upset if they don't get paid and they don't get treasure after a while, and you promised them treasure, like, they're going to become disgruntled. So, you know. Cameron says, I've talked to them about it a bunch. Well, I'm not saying talk to them about it. In-game, present it. Maybe they're in the town and somebody walks up to them because they are clearly adventurers and offers their services.
Like, hey, I'm trying to make some money.
Yeah. So now you start to make them think about, like, they might dragons. They might go, well, we don't really need someone with your skills that much. We get by just fine. However, if you can do this skill, then we, you know what I mean? And by this skill, maybe it's a spellcaster or a cleric or something, you know? But anyways, he said, I had one group almost do it. Then they invited them to be full party members. So I guess it kind of happened. Yeah, that's what it is. And if someone dies, their character dies, they can jump over to that NPC and play that character full time then. You know, that's the other cool thing when you have an NPC in the party. It's not hard to then say, hey, well, do you want to play the NPC now that your character died? It's actually kind of nice. Paul says, for some groups, the idea of having an NPC that takes the player character's XP is horrifying to them. So don't make it take their XP. Just have it share the gold. Yeah. You know, there's no reason that it has to steal XP. Plus, I don't do XP anyway. I do, like, hey, we did some dungeons. I feel like you should level up now. Because for me, it's about the feel. Like, hey, have we been playing this and explored this level enough? And if I feel like we have and I'm ready for you to level up, I level you up. That's why, especially at low levels now, I cruise through them a bit more with my groups.
Yeah, and then sometimes you slow down.
Yeah, I do slow down around, like, level 5.
Yep.
O'Neill Flynn, that sounds like a Venture Brothers episode. I don't even know what that is, but cool. SR2 Joker, retainers are great too because it allows for people to have leadership qualities. Managing retainers can be massive RP in itself. Betrayal, complications, morals, etc. Old versions had a loyalty check you had to make periodically. Always a good time. Yeah, I think that sounds good. I mean, I remember in 2nd edition being able to hire people, henchmen and stuff.
You would also get, I feel like if you were a fighter at
You could become a lord.
A certain level, you essentially started to amass a following and an army, and you could get a tower. And
I think you had to pay them though.
Yeah, but there was usually you had so much gold at that point that it didn't matter.
Yeah, but fighters have a lot of stuff they can spend gold on anyway.
Yeah, but the
like
thing
is a tower or a castle or a keep.
Yeah, but a lot of other people didn't, because some people if you don't allow people to
wizard.
purchase magical items, but it wasn't just that though. It was there's armor restrictions for clerics and druids, and there were so many armor restrictions and so many weapon restrictions. Think about the weapons
only use
that
your
you
deity's
couldn't
bladed
use.
weapon, or it had to be a blunt weapon.
Yeah, you could only use a mace or whatever. So there were so many restrictions that you just kind of ended up stuck with
just
the stuff
hearing
you
that
already had.
Frustrates me again. I get so frustrated thinking about that.
But not everybody played with those rules, though, either.
I know.
It was some people would play with those rules.
Right.
And, allow you to get around them with a different deity or something like that. Other people didn't, and, you know, that was the problem.
Roll Stat says, morale was deeply ingrained into BX and BECME. But so were retainers. It was the only reason charisma wasn't a dump stat. Joker says that is his system of choice too. Obviously, that's Roll Stat's system of choice as well. Paul says 7th level IIRC was the level that you got your first title, land and 50 retainers.
So you also got followers. Thieves would get followers. They would get a friend. A lower level thief or something like that.
Or
an
apprentice thief
or something like
I
that.
vaguely
they would follow
remember
them.
that stuff.
And then,
but I never played a rogue, so.
Druids had
right.
a friend too, an animal companion, but sometimes you could do a fey creature or whatever. Yes. And then wizards had, so it's everybody had their own thing. Their own equivalent, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. I think that's fine, too. Yeah, I don't know. Even 5e, I'm kind of surprised they haven't officially introduced that aspect of the game from the past editions. Because I feel like a lot of people enjoyed those things. Being able to have followers and stuff. And I don't understand why they never brought that back. Are they worried about balance? I just don't get it.
I think it's just not, required. Hey, this for sure happens for you. I think that's it. It comes down to, a DM saying, oh, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or, yeah, I would let you do that. And so I think that's why sometimes you might see some of those people who play those old school games, the old school editions, and play in more of an old school style to say, well, yeah, of course you can do that in 5th edition. Why couldn't you? And the point is it goes back to, well, I didn't realize that, I was able to do that. But the reason that, the old school gamer is thinking of it is because, well, it used to be spelled out. So, of course, they think you can do it.
Yeah.
So it's just different.
Cameron says, I like restrictions when there are a ton of options. In Pathfinder 1E, if a cleric doesn't fit me, maybe an archetype will change that, or I can play another class with the cleric features. O'Neill Flynn, BX
sense.
and BECME are on my bucket list. There you go.
Okay, you got to talk about this whole BX and BECME thing, because it happens
old school
every
D&D,
single
basically.
time.
It's OSR rules. It's basically old school D&D that's been redone in a little bit more streamlined, I think. But it's old school D&D rules, pre-2nd edition rules.
Have you played this
No.
before?
No, I've never played it.
What's,
What's what? It's
I don't
old school
know.
D&D
It's
rules.
just like
That's it.
I
It's
don't
just
know.
not
It's just
published
like
by Wizards
so
of the
it
Coast.
just comes up in every like I feel like it comes up in every stream and
That's
I don't know what we're talking
stats,
about.
That's because it's roll stats systems of choice. That's why it comes up.
Roll stats. I need more info.
Like
I feel like roll
we've
stats
already
has a
talked
lot of
about it,
information.
he does. It's
right?
his,
But
it's
like,
his thing.
so would
I'll send you some roll stats videos.
Would I like this or no?
Did you like 2nd edition D&D?
I mean, yeah.
Did you like 5e D&D more?
I don't know that I have a big preference.
Okay, so you would. I mean, you'll probably enjoy it if you play with a good group. That's really the answer about most RPGs.
I mean, that's valid.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
that's basically what happens.
I think I would have fun with it, but I think I would grow bored of it. Quicker than other games.
Why do you feel that way? Just
because I get ADHD
many...
about like leveling up and about like abilities and options. Yeah, I already know that.
Yeah, but like if something's not defined, like can you make it up? Like can you homebrew
you role play whatever you want.
Like...
No. You don't make up shit. And like, yeah, I'm now a warlock. Like it doesn't. You don't do that.
I mean, like, well, no, I'm not just gonna like.
If you roll
also
to hit
guys
something,
that have 4 spells, but
it depends.
Are
you playing with your brother or are you playing with roll stats?
No, like, I'm playing with. I don't know. Like I don't know. Just like with. People.
No, you don't.
I don't know. I'm asking questions.
You don't like make up your own.
No,
rules.
but like, well, I don't know. I'm asking like. Because there are people homebrew for 5th edition, like, oh, here's this additional feed option, or oh, here's this other skill,
really,
or whatever. But that's like
that has nothing to do with the system.
World.
That has
like
absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
to
but
do
that
with the
could
game.
create the customization that somebody wants in something.
No.
Right? No.
They're two different conversations.
All right, man. Whatever. I'll just sit here and be quiet.
No, I'm just saying that's two different conversations.
Maybe somebody wants.
Okay.
Maybe somebody wants to educate me in a more patient manner.
I'm patient. I'm just telling you what you're saying is two completely different conversations.
Okay.
You asked if you would like BX or Beck me. And I asked you in comparison to 5e and 2nd edition, what do you like more? Because those are more like 2nd edition than they're like 5e.
Yeah, I don't think it matters to me.
Okay.
I think I'm starting to realize that maybe rules don't matter a ton to me.
Perfect.
Like, I can have a lot of rules, or I can have not a lot of rules, but it really just depends if I like the people I'm playing with.
Yes.
If I like the person who's running the game, then I'm going to end up having fun anyway. Like, I don't care if, I just run up and hit things with my sword. Like, if the story's good, it doesn't matter. Right.
So yeah, that's so that's what it comes down to though. Like, so for me, say I'm playing my favorite class, like a fighter or something, in an old school game.
You say or something, like there's an actual or something. It's just fighter.
There might be barbarians. There might be other shit. I don't know. Anyways, I've never played them.
Okay, cool.
Anyways, say a martial class, a paladin. I don't know. I get bored if all I can do as an attack is literally just run up and hit it with my sword mechanically. I get bored with that.
You guys are more creative.
Yes, I can roleplay that I slash. Yes, I can roleplay that I because it missed me on the last turn, I parried the attack and hit it. Like, I can roleplay that. But again, after I've done that for, 20 sessions and we haven't leveled up and I don't have a lot of abilities.
What do you mean? Because it's like an old school system,
it's
you're not allowed to level?
It's just slower progression.
I mean, but that wasn't that true of 2nd edition. Like,
yeah, it was. It was slow as shit.
The first couple levels at the beginning, it's just like every session you're like,
no, it wasn't.
And I'm gonna level.
Who were you playing with? Because I was playing at a different table then, apparently. No, we didn't level up hardly ever. I remember your sister-in-law begging to level up every session because we never leveled up. And then finally she something was implied and we leveled up and we're all like, thanks, Erica. I remember that.
No, it's because I think okay. Continue on.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
Go. Let's see what people have to say. You're so behind.
I know, it's your fault though.
I don't even
Joker
know what you're
said
doing over
old school has a very baked in DIY mentality too. People kit bash it to heck. So yes, in some ways you, I guess, could homebrew something. It ran parallel to AD&D, started out simpler, ended as complex. Paul says current style of play is more geared toward long sweeping storylines that centers around the players, much like a JRPG, and can pay for levels with gold. Cameron,
yeah, you got it. Sometimes you have to pay somebody to train you.
Yeah, which
that makes
I don't like
sense. That makes sense, though.
It doesn't.
It does sometimes.
Do you think you're becoming a better painter because you're doing it, or do you think you're becoming a better painter because you're paying someone to make you a better painter on miniatures?
I mean, like, if I paid somebody, you guys, I'd be so great.
You'd be more dedicated.
I'm not.
Sure.
I'm just winging
Whatever.
stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. We're just gonna make it up. Sometimes I'm like, wow, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, but then there'd be no point in like music lessons if you couldn't pay somebody to be better. It's the
people
same
are
thing.
Self-taught all the time. There are famous ass people who made it to mastery level who taught themselves by ear.
Okay, keep reading the chat.
Like,
You're
they
so
didn't
behind.
pay somebody. No, I'm not.
You're so behind.
I know exactly where I'm at. Cameron says, Paula, it seems like you're more of a reactive player than an active player. Would you also say that? I'd say an active player would seek NPCs to hire rather than wait for them to be presented to them. 100%, Paula is a lot more reactive, yes.
That's true, yeah.
I struggled the first couple games I ran because I had nothing but reactive players in my table, and I wanted to run a sandbox, and it did not work. And that was when I realized that I needed to railroad and push a story in front of them for it to happen. And then the sessions were a lot better when I did that early on. Rollstat says, so you would probably like Beck Me, Paula. It is a fully fleshed out rules system with skills and special weapon abilities. It is probably something that you would be more accustomed to. Joker said, old school primer might be a good distinction. Rulings over rules. Emphasis on problem solving. Fighter rule set, more DIY. Oh, lighter rule set, more DIY. Rollstat says, plus, the Gazetteers for Mystara, the default world for Beckme, gave additional skills, abilities, and classes. We played in Mystara before, so, you know, it wasn't, and you know, it was cool. The Duchy and blah, blah, like, where were we? We were in, like, the Duchy and, I don't know. The hell was it?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Your brother's campaign he was running was in Mystara.
Oh.
You don't remember
I don't
squat.
even know.
Okay. Yeah, anyways, we did play in Mystara. Oh my god, at SR2 Joker, I think we just became best friends. Ruling over rules, always. Haha, we follow the same gospel. Yeah, you guys are 100% in line with that.
Rollstats is like best friends with everybody.
That's true, Rollstats. You make new best friends every time we stream.
Every time.
How come? I thought we were best friends. How can we be best friends if you're best friends with everybody else? I feel so cheapened now.
I'm gonna need like a 500-piece puzzle so I can make best friend necklaces for all of us.
Geez. Yeah, so they can link up together.
The question is, what will the puzzle create?
Right.
How can I like keep painting in the similar spot and always be off the camera? Because
you don't paint in the same spot. And then you were getting mad like even before you did the same thing with little miniatures. You turn and swivel in the chair. You move it closer to you,
okay,
then you move it further away, then you hold it up high, then you hold it low. That's why we did the overhead cam like this, because it fixes that a little bit.
I can't sit in place that well, I guess.
When we eventually get, I'm thinking like a couple months down the line, we're going to get an official overhead cam with one of those rigs I showed you before. Luckily, they're not super expensive.
And he's going to put me in a non-rolling chair.
No. The chair won't matter because the way they work, like right now, the tripod is off to the side, and this is an angled view still from the side. So, like, we don't have it directly above you. When we do that, it'll be more directly above you, and it'll get, like, that whole area, and we're not going to zoom it in quite as much. But we'll focus the camera so it shows the detail. And it'll be consistent, and we won't have to worry about it. We also have an adapter coming for the mic stand, so I might take the microphone stand that you're using for the webcam in your room, and we might have to figure out a different way to mount that webcam in your office.
That'd be fine.
Because that might work well, too, for the overhead aspect, because it's a little bit smaller, takes up less desk space. We can come from this side and get a shot down.
Yeah.
You know, so that might help.
I mean, or I could try and get something to put my computer. Well, but I really
no, because don't worry about that.
I need all 3 screens.
You can use that webcam. We just need to find a new way for that to be up higher for you. That's all. Maybe we tape it to the top of your computer. I don't know. With some like painter's tape, so it doesn't like leave a sticky residue. SR Juca, so Keramikos? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That was it.
Yes, that sounds familiar now.
That was 100% it.
Yeah.
I have a 20 charisma. Cameron says, and that the gospel truth. I think, did you mean ain't that the gospel truth? I don't know.
Probably.
That's, all my jokes have typos. It's all good. It's all good. So, again, like, 5e for me has been a great game. You know, played it since 2014, played the playtest. I've had a lot of fun with it. I just feel like I've played all the characters I really wanted to play. I have not gotten as excited as a lot of people I know about the new books that have come out in the last year and a half. Like, nothing has really inspired me. Eberron looks cool. It sounds interesting. I just don't know if that's something I would ever really run a game in. So, again, not something that I'm like, oh, this inspires me to play this type of character or this or that. The Magic the Gathering stuff that just came out, cool, but I feel like I've run my course with 5e, and I've done what I wanted to as a player for the most part. I still got to do that Mountain Dwarf Wizard at some point and a Warlock of some sort. I guess I've never played a Sorcerer either, but you know, so maybe I'll play some of those things.
You've never played a Bard.
You've never played a Bard?
No, I said you've never played a Bard.
How do you know what I haven't played? I played a lot of one-shots back in the day.
Have you played a Bard?
I don't know if I've played a Bard.
No, you've never played a Bard. You've never played a Bard.
First of all, I have a folder that's this thick of characters I've played. It's over 100 characters. I will look through there. If there's a Bard in there, that means I've played it at least once. But you're right. I don't think I've played one.
No, I don't think so either. Just like I haven't played a fighter.
True. Lasagna Druid says, who here has played Zweihander? I personally loved running it for my players before the whole lockdown hit. Now we're going back to D&D, and they want me to run Pathfinder since I own it now. Juice, you obviously haven't watched Disney's Hercules lately. Actually, we watched it a couple months ago.
No, because they're at the beginning, and they're singing the song, and they're like, and that was the gospel truth, right?
I don't remember. But I've seen Hercules a few times. I used to have the Hercules toys that came from like the Happy Meals. Those were some of the coolest toys.
I mean, clearly you're not up to date on your Hercules.
I'm not. I'm not obsessed with that movie. Aladdin's the best Disney movie. So Zweihander, I played that. Aladdin is. What's better?
No.
What? What's better?
No.
Oh, some Wonderland. What? What's better?
Okay, so Zweihander. So what is that?
It's Warhammer. It's percentage based. It's more gritty.
Okay.
It tries to.
I don't really know what you mean by more gritty, but that's fine.
You don't know what gritty means? Like,
I mean, like, I know what it is, but like, I don't know how your character is more gritty.
So it's not necessarily your character. It's more
like
realistic. The setting is definitely darker.
Gotcha.
Magic is a little bit harder to do. It's less like super powerful. It's Warhammer. So Warhammer.
Also have never played Warhammer.
It's the same thing, basically. It's just a simpler rule set for Warhammer.
Okay.
It's a different system, but it's Warhammer simpler.
Great. I appreciate all the clarity that's been granted to me. Okay, moving on.
Are you serious? That's like saying, it's like saying, yeah, I play D&D 5e compared to D&D 3.5. Like, that's basically the gist of it. Completely, like, much simpler. I mean, probably not that different, but yeah.
Yeah, but okay.
Same game, different system.
I know, you're comparing it to something that I also don't know what that is.
You don't know what D&D 3.5 is compared to 5e?
No, I mean...
What? You're talking about Warhammer to Zweihander?
I'm just gonna throw you out.
It's a percentage-based game.
I'm just gonna throw
just
you
like
out.
Call of Cthulhu, which you've played, you roll percentile dice.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
get
I
a target
understand.
number that
I'm
you
gonna
roll
throw
under.
this dragon at you. I
Like-
understand what percentages are.
So then what is the question? What do you not understand? Do you speak English? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Shut your mouth over there. Okay? Watch out. I'm going to screw up this dragon.
Paul says, feels like Wizards of the Coast catering to the new players primarily with a lot of latest releases. Not a bad thing. They are losing the older players. Maybe. I don't know. Star Wars Tron. Cameron, did you ever play the Hercules game for PlayStation? One of the only licensed games I liked. The graphics were perfect. Roll stats. Okay, so you know how Pine has 57 different colors? It's like that, Paula. That's gritty. Cameron, also the gameplay was great. What are we talking? Like, it's so... I don't care about
What's
Hercules in
going
the video
on?
game.
Are we still live?
Lasagna
Tell us
Dread.
how you don't mansplain, Juice.
Who said that?
Roll stats.
Oh, he must have just said that. So, she asked about it and then said she was confused. That's not mansplaining. She's legit like, well, what's that? Like, she wants me to explain it. How is that negative?
No. That's like you saying to me, like, oh, okay, well, like, what is that? What does that fruit taste like? Oh, well, it tastes like a durian fruit. Like, oh, well, I've never had that either.
That's why I said D&D.
Well, like, it's like the other fruit that you've never had.
No,
like,
I compared it to
understand.
apples. To Granny Smith apples compared to Honey Crisp apples, which I know you know about. Like, no. Don't be throwing stuff. So, no,
God.
I totally tried to explain it to you in a way that you could understand. Better Disney movies than Aladdin. Aladdin had the best music, the first one. I love the first Aladdin. Anyways. And don't you dare say Lion King.
Alice in Wonderland.
That is bullshit.
Is a great movie.
Doesn't
That's
have
all
great
I'm
music,
saying.
though. Not like Aladdin. Aladdin has the best music.
The songs are great in Alice in Wonderland. What are you looking at me like your mama don't feed you?
I have no interest in discussing Alice in Wonderland. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying it's not as good as Aladdin.
It's a great movie. It's like random and like interesting.
Yeah, it is random. That's why it's interesting.
That's the cool part because you're just like,
what's the best song in the Alice in Wonderland movie?
The walrus. The walrus one. I don't know what it's called.
Okay, but when you like talk about Aladdin, like almost every song in that movie is great. You ain't never had a friend like me. Prince Ali,
no, it was only cool because Robin Williams did it.
100%.
Robin Hood was good. I haven't watched that one in a while.
Hell, I would say The Jungle Book was better than Alice in Wonderland.
So, roll stats. Like cabbages and kings. See, Cameron knows.
Roll stats says so, and I'm being serious now. It is a freaking travesty that you two don't have a reality TV show. You know.
So there would be...
Have your people call my people. We'll set it up.
There would be so much stuff on there that'd be like, I don't know if we can do that.
I think we'd have to put something in the contract that they can't show me beating my kids. No,
I shared a story this morning at work because like somebody at work was like, yeah,
Little Mermaid's good.
Parents and COVID and like you guys are doing such a great job. And I was like, look, I snapped yesterday. I told my son, he was sitting at the table, and I was like, do it again, and you're gonna regret it, because I was just like, I'm so sick.
He was like pushing a chair on his sister.
He was screwing with Lily, and he's like screwing with the chair and trying to flip the table over, and I was like, do it again.
He wasn't trying to flip the table over.
Do it again.
It's a heavy ass table.
You guys, I had zero preparation for what was gonna happen if he did it again. Okay, like I had no idea what was gonna happen. I did not.
Yeah, you did. That's my blackout angry story. That's what I do.
And then he did it again, and I was unprepared. And sitting in front of me is like a thing
large
of
cup
water.
of water.
That,
An adult-sized cup of water. A 32-ounce large from McDonald's cup of water.
It was not. Oh my gosh, you're
It was like this. How many ounces is this?
Not.
Hang on.
Just like,
I can't read. It's too dark.
I splashed him with water, and it was just like, you thought I would have, like, I ripped his heart out, but I was just like,
this
I panicked.
is 30 to 32 ounces of water,
It was
Paula.
not that much water.
That's how much is in these cups.
And
30 to 32 ounces, according to the bottom.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I had to apologize to him later, but
Yeah.
I was just like, I was unprepared for what was gonna happen.
We're a little on edge in this household lately.
But it's okay.
But I would totally do a reality TV show. Record me all you want.
Oh, Walrus and the Carpenter.
You could pay me like $100,000. I'll do it for $100,000. I'll be on a reality TV show.
The superior
For season
Disney movie is Chicken Little. I'm sorry, Lasagna Druid, but like nobody agrees with you.
Yeah, whatever. I think we watched that in school once. Yeah.
Nobody thinks it's Chicken Little. Zero
So,
out of 100
no,
people
hang
said
on.
Chicken
So
Little.
let's go back
because you didn't get the survey email.
So keep painting. Let's go back. Let's rewind here.
D&D.
No, Zweihander.
Oh, okay.
What do you not understand? So there's.
Stop. No, let's just move on.
I want to talk about
Let's
this.
just move on.
It's important.
Speaking of
because I never got to the
cartoons-
point where how it was fun because you were like, "What the hell's Zweihander?"
No, okay, just tell me why it's fun then.
So
Just tell
it's
me
a
why you
simple
like it.
game to get into and play.
Okay.
You again, so it's percentage based. So all your skills are based on that. Depending on what your attributes are, you get different, percentages, right? Your wounds, they're a tiered system. So like you can have levels of wound. It's not like Savage Worlds where it's confusing with that. It actually makes perfect sense. And then, yeah, it's like, I don't know. The lore is good. Like you got beastmen, which are like giant goat men in the setting. Those are like one of the main bad type of guys. There's political intrigue. There's, it's less magic. So if you like, not fireballs everywhere kind of mad, like if you like fireballs and stuff, then maybe Zweihander's not necessarily for you, But the magic is a lot more toned down. Like very basic. Healing is hard. Like actually magical healing is a lot more rare.
Okay.
So again, it's more lethal. That's part of what makes it more gritty.
So it is more like never mind. Continue.
It's like the Cursed show probably.
Oh, that we're watching.
But magic
on
is a little
Netflix?
bit less powerful.
Yeah, guys, the Netflix produced show, like The Curse or
Apparently
whatever,
it's based on a book.
is actually pretty good. So I'm just letting you know that if you have 0 shows in your Netflix queue, which 0 people do, that's a good one to add.
Yeah, I've got like 200 things.
I have so many things.
Yeah, I should just delete a bunch.
Like, I'm never gonna watch it anyway.
Pretty much. There's I put The Matrix on there. We own those damn movies. Like, why do I have it in my queue on Netflix? The other day when you came in there and I was watching Matrix, I was watching it on Netflix, not the movie.
I don't know. I mean, I have like 100 shows in my list there, and like the other day I had time to, paint my nails, right? And watch a movie.
What is that?
And
what is that?
I don't know. I could be like, ta-da, instead.
If Lily was doing that, you'd be like, stop it.
Whatever.
Stop it.
You're so full of it.
That's so annoying. Don't do that anymore.
Oh my gosh. You're just making things up now.
I'm not making that up. That's legit.
That's
100%.
not legit. There's like
100%.
Oh my gosh.
I just tell it how it is. You tell it how it might be.
Like Pillsbury Doughboy over there. Like, what are you doing?
Just getting excited. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Paul Ross says, my mother, when she was going through the change, stabbed my little brother with a fork when he was playing up one time.
I mean, like, I haven't like stabbed any of my children. Like, it was sitting right in front of me, and like we sprayed the dog when she gets too close to the door. And so it was just like, I saw it, and I just like, I didn't know what to do. I don't know. It's probably a terrible thing. He's in this like phase right now, which has lasted the past 2 years, in which he's exceptionally defiant.
Yeah, it's a phase, but he's been doing it for 2 years.
No, he's very defiant when he's in a group. Versus
when he's
like,
backed against a wall.
When it's one-on-one, like he thinks
he's a fighter, not a flighter.
100%. You know?
He's like me.
Like the kids next door threw a rotten potato at him, and
they're like 7 years older than him.
And so he started chucking rocks, and it was just like, okay, dude, like you can't throw rocks, but like, you know, also maybe, you know, they shouldn't throw a potato, but like. Yeah,
no, he fights. Like if I'm punishing him, he tries to hit me. Like he tries to fight me. I'm 280 pounds. He's 40 pounds. Like, and he legit tries to fist fight me.
Okay, so I feel like what we have established at this point is that I need to play additional, like, systems.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So that apparently I understand Zweihander better.
So the guy who made Zweihander sent me a PDF version. I'll send it to you so you can look at it.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna, excuse me, Secretary, could you please...
I'm not running it or playing it.
Coordinate?
No.
An event for me?
Not for that. I'll coordinate a time for you to
What happened to this Call of Cthulhu game we were supposed to play?
What are you talking about? We played it.
I know. Weren't we going to play, like, an actual,
roll stats?
like, game?
Roll stats is too important to run it for us.
He's too VIP.
I don't know.
I was that VIP.
I don't know. We haven't rescheduled that, I don't think. I don't even know. I don't even know where I have time to schedule that at the moment.
Well, maybe you don't, but I do.
Like, I just told you guys.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you do.
I'm just saying.
I got you scheduled for like 3 to 4 streams a night for the next 2 weeks. What are you talking about?
3 to 4
On top of that, we got to film RPG a day.
I'm sorry, did you mean a week?
I mean a week. Yeah, and then, our premium snaps, we got to work on those. And then we've got the RPG a day next month.
Yeah, you guys, so we're
Paula does not agree with my creative direction.
No, we're just trying to figure out what we were going to do, and, like, I don't know. I only have so much time, you know?
Roll Stats says, sounds like my kind of game. Lasagna Druid says, Zweihander magic is also pretty dangerous for people casting high-level spells. If you end up falling or rolling a 6, the effects of messing up tend to be pretty insane. A 6 on a d6, I'm assuming. Roll Stats.
Oh, no, okay, so what's an example, though, of, like, the effect?
Yeah, tell us, Druid.
How bad is it?
Yeah. Roll Stats says, sounds kind of like Dungeon Crawl Classics. Cameron says, LMAO, the demon voice. What up, y'all? All right. Cameron says, my sister stabbed me with a fork when we were little because I ate her strawberry. It wasn't real quick either. She ran down a 2-story set of stairs with a fork screaming, you ate my strawberry!
That is the voice that Lee uses when he does impressions of our daughter.
Yeah, sometimes. Roll Stats says, well, that's because she sounds like, oh my gosh. Roll Stats says, I will definitely run it. Don't be that way, Juice. Also, I want to run Morkborg. That's a new...
What's that?
It's some game he said that was super...
There's so many new things.
Well, first of all, you realize there's like thousands of RPGs, right?
I mean,
like
I know,
thousands.
But like, there's so many new things coming up, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do with all the information.
He showed me Morkborg online today, and
was it cool?
I mean, it's a black and yellow cover. That's what he showed me.
I mean, they made an entire song about that, so it's got to be great.
There's a song. I don't freaking know. Anyways, he said it's a really simple system, though.
The song. Never mind. Continue on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe somebody else will get it. Continue on.
Anyways, So
he
said it's
showed
super
it
simple.
to you.
Well, he showed me the cover. Showed me a picture of it. Like, that he just got it.
Oh, well, I didn't know if
I said,
you
I'll
had
play
a
it.
whole, like,
Yeah, I said,
you
I'll play
know,
it. Anyways,
conversation.
Lasagna Druid says,
like...
when I was little, apparently I pulled my sister's hair when she changed the channel while I was watching SpongeBob. My mom found us fighting in the only way a 3-year-old and a 12-year-old can. Example of a small effect would be your head popping off for an hour with no detriments.
What?
That's
your
weird.
head would pop off?
I guess. Big effect would be accidentally causing hellfire, or the worst one is literally you getting sucked into a portal and just popping out of existence. Book literally says, roll a new character, LMAO.
Holy crap, that is great.
Fantasy or Dragon Age does that too.
That sounds
where, like,
great.
every time you cast a spell, you run the risk of becoming possessed by a demon and basically rolling up a new character.
I kind of love it. I want to play a spellcaster.
Yeah, no you don't.
I want to do it.
You would be so upset. The power gamer in you would be so upset. Especially if you were really excited about something about to happen, or you just got something really cool, and then you die. You get sucked into a portal. You would be pissed. So pissed.
I mean, we're going to be okay.
Just like when you died in the very first Descent into Avernus game. It was the most awkward stream, like the most awkward 10 minutes of streaming ever.
I've now come to terms with that.
I'm sure you have. But you also have not had a character die since then.
I know, but like...
it's happening soon, I'm sure. But
it probably is.
You're due. You're due for a character death.
I was expecting it last time. I'm gonna be honest.
Ooh.
What are you doing over there? You're supposed to be in charge of the chat.
I am. Sorry. I have someone who's buying that TV. The big TV.
Oh, okay.
The big heavy one. I just got to find the power cord. I think it's on the table. But,
okay, continuing on with the chat that you're neglecting.
Sorry, no, this is money.
So
we're talking money.
Roll Stats is trying to get Lasagna Druid to run. What is he trying to run?
Yeah.
Zweihander.
So, and if Lasagna Druid doesn't want to run it, I know someone who would run it if you guys would rather play in it. So,
let's do it.
My player, TP Grant in the Discord, has ran it on my channel before. It's his specialty. He runs it for Encounter Roleplay too. So maybe I could reach out to him and see if he'd want to.
That sounds VIP.
Yeah, you got to be a $50 backer or patron. No, I'm just kidding. Lasagna Druid said, core rulebook is a pretty hefty chunk of a book. Also, would love to run it sometime. All right, yeah, if you want to run it, that's cool. Let's get something set up for you guys. I probably won't play it, but if Paula wants to play it, she can play it too. So, Dragon Age is so awesome. I have not played Fantasy Age or Dragon Age yet, and it's a bucket list game I want to play. I don't know. It's a game that I got really excited about and thought I was going to be able to get a group to play it, and as soon as they agreed to it, we had a falling out with one of the players. So, yeah. So we never played it.
What was that?
What, my clicking?
Yeah, what do you call that?
Clucking? I don't know.
What do you call that? Is that a thing?
You can't do that?
I was joking because you were giving me crap earlier, just like 10 minutes ago.
Oh. Can you whistle?
No.
Oh. I knew that answer, by the way.
Are you trying to call me out on stream because I can't whistle?
Well, I don't know. You made it sound like you couldn't go...
No.
So that's why I asked. Because you were being mean to me. So I figured I'd ask. So we've got maybe 4 more minutes in the stream. It's almost 10 o'clock. We vowed to go to bed early tonight.
I know. You guys,
if you're really into it, we can go later. It's fine. I said, we could end at 10 if that's what you wanted to do. You want to keep going, I can tell.
I do, because I feel like I haven't painted anything.
We'll push it to 10:30.
I haven't
what did you get done tonight?
Done anything. All I've done is the tops of these stupid
You wanted to paint this?
Hey, I don't even know what I'm doing over here. It's just like nothing's even happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so sick of gray. Like, you thought I didn't like painting gray on characters before.
Yeah, but I mean, you shouldn't
Like,
have painted it gray anyway. I don't know why you painted it gray.
I don't know, because...
You were just priming it. Why does the gray matter? It's not going to be gray when you're done.
No, I know.
So what's the gray matter? It was just the prime, so you could see the primer, I thought. That's why I thought you painted it gray.
I just was trying to paint it dark.
Oh, okay.
So I just, got into all the little crevices. The crevici.
Like crevici?
The
I
crevasses.
I suppose.
That's their actual terminology.
Roll Stats says she wants to hear about all these new game systems that you've been keeping from her, Juice. First of all, Roll Stats, I have tried to get her to play new games for years. It wasn't until she actually played 7D system with Gareth that her willingness to try new games happened. And that was just last year or 2 years ago.
Lies.
It's true.
I don't think so.
You had no interest in playing any Palladium, you had no interest in playing like a bunch of games.
I just didn't want to play like superhero games. Like you were just more into them than I was. Mm-hmm. That was my only limitation. And the other limitations that are out there are things that you imposed upon me.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm just making things up now.
You're gonna make Roll Stats hate me.
No,
he's gonna be like, I always knew it, Juice. I always knew it.
He's over here mansplaining me constantly.
Oh, whatever.
I mean,
Joker says, dang man, the setting is enthralling to me. I like the Witcher RPG too. So I have the Free RPG Day Witcher book from last year. I haven't really read it. There's not a lot that actually stood out like, oh, I really like this, to be honest. But the Witcher setting is very interesting to me. Roll Stats says, why are you always holding out, man? I got to keep all the good stuff for myself, Roll Stats.
What was interesting about the Witcher setting?
We watched the show.
I mean, I know, but
you don't think that's interesting?
Well,
the video
I'm
game's
not saying they're not. I'm trying to get you to talk about what you think is interesting about it. Like, what are the things that interest you the most about it? But you know what? Forget you.
I mean, I'm not an expert on it. I barely played the games. I've watched the show. I've never read any of the books. I didn't play the RPG, but I own the Quick Start. It's just cool. I don't know. I like it. I like the premise of people who are witchers that fight owl bears and dragons and wyverns and whatever. I like that idea that they have specialized people who are trained and bred to do these things, It's kind of cool. And they're very rare. They're almost possessed. I like it. Roll Stats says, why are you always holding out? I already answered that. JJ says, hey. Hey, JJ. Welcome to the chat. I don't know who you are, but glad to have you. JJ. Lasagna Druid says, damn, she's dragging you through the mud, bro. Yeah, that's what she does. That's what she does. She paints me to be terrible, I know.
I'm just giving her a hard time.
She and Roll Stats are single-handedly the reason I don't paint miniatures anymore.
What? What? What are you saying? I was just helping you the other day.
Oh, that looks terrible. Terrible.
No, I did not say that one time. There were zero mentions of the word terrible.
I don't know. I repainted that thing to be a statue, so.
I mean, okay, it looked like a zombie, though. It looked like a zombie that,
Palladium, the 1,000-yard stare. JJ says, oh man, the dragon is coming out awesome so far. So she's only painted the wings so far.
Yeah. And, hey, excuse me. I've also painted the base.
Well, that's not the dragon, though.
That's
the statue.
Yeah, but this is part of it.
Yeah, but that's not the dragon.
You know what?
Roll Stats. Okay, I kind of feel like I have to try Palladium now. Because I kind of have to see just how bad it is. It's perfect, Roll Stats. It is the ideal game system for anybody who likes crunchy goodness that doesn't make any sense. I'm just kidding.
It's like your favorite.
I like Palladium. I do. It's nostalgic for me. That's why I love it so much. I like what they were trying to do. I just think they failed to execute what they tried. That's all. Joker says Slavic fantasy base plus fairy tale elements. Exactly. Lasagna Druid, I'm going to end up going into debt hearing all these RPGs I want to buy. You don't want to buy Palladium. And they're cheap if you do. They're only like $25.
Or what you can do, Lasagna Druid, is you can just hang out with other people who own them.
And then, yeah, just
and then you can play them
you know.
that way. And then,
Paula does not understand how
problem
us
solved.
RPG fans like actually want the books in our hands. She doesn't get that.
I don't.
She doesn't feel the need for that.
I don't understand, excessive material possessions. I'm just kidding.
But you're not. She's said before, she's like, why do you need to buy that if like somebody else has that book? Or why do you need to buy that if like you've got D&D Beyond? And it's like, well, because I still want the book, because I'd rather read the book than scroll through a computer screen for like 3 hours trying to
but
read.
like you already know how to. Never mind. It's fine. Continue.
I already know how to what?
Like, but you already know how to like make the characters and like the rules and stuff like that. So it's like if there's a new book with like, oh, here's some additional like classes or something like that. It's just like we'll just like read about them online. Then the things.
It's not the same.
Consumerism.
It's real. Roll Stats says, dude, I only kid because I love smiley faces. If I don't pick on you, I probably don't like you.
I mean, that's fair. I understand that.
Your undead ranger was amazing, Juice. Feel better? It's a statue now. I painted it all gray.
Yeah, he painted it all gray. It's like he painted over.
I did. I painted it over. So now
his
at least it's some of its
creation.
detail. SR2 Joker says TMNT is one of the Apex. So good. Yeah, we had fun with that. Like my coyote mechanic guy was cool. Were you running the game that I drove the motorcycle across the rooftops and I was jumping from building to building? I think that was the coyote. I think it was. And then like someone like got backhanded or something. I don't know. It was kind of funny. Anyways, that was a fun game. Lasagna Druid. Yeah, my girlfriend is the opposite. She's a dice hoarder. Oh, Paula's a dice hoarder. We went to the game store recently and she spent like a bunch of money on dice just because of their colors almost matching her current set.
No, okay, no. For clarification, a bunch of money means $3.
You spent more than $3.
And
you spent like at least 10.
No, I didn't. I bought like 7 die, like in the single ones, and they're just pink, and it's because we were getting higher in level.
But she had to have them.
I don't have it's convenient to not have to roll a die 6 7 times.
So a pet peeve that I've never mentioned. It drives.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah. So sitting at a table playing D&D with people, and someone's like, "I cast Fireball," and they have like maybe half the dice they need, but rather than just rolling them twice and just adding it up, they're like, "Does anybody have like the other dice I need?" And then like there's like, "Oh yeah," and they're like picking through other people's dice. Don't touch my damn dice, people. Like keep your hands to yourself first of all. Second of all, if it's just 2d6 or whatever, just roll the 1d6 twice and add it up. Like, come on, guys. We don't have to spend 10 minutes rounding up other people's dice they're not using so you can use it.
I mean, says the guy who can't understand how to use, like, a THATCO chart. And then we're just like...
about? It's just subtraction.
It's just math. And you're like, well, people can't add up 2d6, and it's like, well,
I didn't say they couldn't add it. I just said it's annoying that we have to wait for you, who wasn't prepared to cast your spell in the first place. Second of all, now we got to wait for you to get dice from people so you can roll the exact amount of dice that the spell calls for.
That's why I bought extra dice, so I wasn't that
but you don't
person.
need to.
You know?
Paul says, now Robotech, a PhD was needed. Robotech isn't owned by Palladium anymore. That IP is now owned by Strange Machine Games. SO2 Joker, yeah, LOL. Still on YouTube, too. Nice. JJ says, you can never have enough dice. I agree with that, JJ. I just get annoyed when someone at the table is like, oh, I need more dice because my spell has, like, 2 more dice it needs. Like, no, just roll what you have and just figure it out later. Or buy more dice like Paula did. So, it's just my pet peeve. Especially when they grab my dice. It's more that a lot of times if, like, Paula's sitting next to me and we're playing, she'll just reach for my dice. I'm very weird about my stuff. Like, I know I am. Like, even my books, I don't like people handling my books a certain way.
I know, and then he'll be like... I
get anxiety from
he'll be like, do you need more dice? And I'm like, no, I'm good, thanks. I got everything I need from your pile.
So say I'm going to get myself a drink, and I've got my thing of dice on the table, I will, like, come back, and she's, like, picking through my dice, giving them to certain people who needed dice. I'm like, what are you doing? Do not give away my dice. I hate when people touch my dice.
Well, like, we had a just like a one-time player, and like they needed.
It was Erica, I think.
Dice. No, it was Rachel.
Well, that wasn't the time I got really annoyed.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I think I set dice aside for her anyway. Remember?
I don't know.
I did, and then you gave her your extra dice, so she was set. Now
I have lots of dice, but I prefer that if I'm, casting a spell that I roll dice that match. Yeah. That's all. I have lots of dice.
Joker says Nerdarchy, Dave, and Ted were in that game too. Yeah, I remember that. Paula didn't, as of this week, Paula did not think that I had ever played with those guys. And I told her I've played with them multiple times.
I didn't know.
She forgets. Like, I had like 2 years where I played a game like every other night. Like, she forgets about it.
But I didn't know who was in those games.
Right, it was always new people. Almost always. Especially if I ran the game. I always did games for new players, and then I'd bring in like 1 or 2 people that I did know. Paul says, most of the time we will give the dice needed. Like, if you ask me for dice, I'll give you some dice. That's not a problem. I just don't want people reaching in and grabbing my dice. I'm kind of superstitious about my dice. Cameron says, buy a thing of tiny D6. Yeah, I've done that, and I've given that to Paula. It's all clear D6s.
Yeah, I do have
it's
those.
Like 36 D6s or something crazy.
Yeah, I have lots of dice. I just, like it when they coordinate and match properly, and,
JJ, yeah, I'm fine with that, too. I do that as well. I color code my dice, what I'm using. JJ says, I agree. Don't steal from people. Don't steal dice from people. 100%. Lasagna Druid, unless you're casting something like Meteor Strike and need the 20d6, you're not touching my dice without permission. Sounds like he'll stab you with a fork. Yeah, I know I'm very particular about my books, my gaming stuff in general.
About everything?
Yeah, I'm a little bit OCD about certain things.
Right, but then you get mad when other people are about other things. I'm sorry,
no,
what?
That's not true. Like what? Like about papers on the countertop? Maybe it's because I leave stuff out there because of my OCD. No. I have a thing where I don't know what it is, but if I have like a piece of paper that
if he can't see it, it no longer exists.
Yes. I forget about it.
And I'm like, no, you can put your things away. Like, they can have a spot and a location and everything. And guess what? They're still real things.
So an example would be our DVD collection, right? So in the old house, I wanted all of our DVDs on a shelf so I could see them at all times. She wanted them tucked away in an entertainment center with drawers that you couldn't see them ever. And my point was, if that's the case, I will never watch them. And it was true. If they were in there, like, I didn't think about them unless somebody else brought it up. However, when they're on a shelf, I'll see it and be like, oh, I kind of want to watch that. I'll watch that while I'm painting minis or I'm prepping tonight. And, like, I'd pull stuff out and start watching things. Which is funny because since we've moved here, I haven't watched a lot of movies again, and I do think that's a big reason why.
You can't have all your stuff out
I understand that.
at the same time.
I understand
you
that.
know?
I agree.
And so it's just like,
100%.
you know.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, plus, imagine how many times, like, our kids go through the DVDs enough. Imagine
our
if they were on
kids,
a
by our
shelf.
kids, you mean our 1.5-year-old?
Yeah, it'd be like every, 10 minutes you cleaning up the DVDs off the floor.
Yeah.
You'd be so mad.
Probably.
You'd be like, put them in a box. I don't ever want to see them again.
Probably. But yeah, I don't know. It's just how I am. Let's see. Joker says, we used to play with them a lot, man. We were psychos. Oh, yeah, I feel like we played a lot of games in general. But it was cool. I had a lot of fun. JJ says, if you cast a 9th level fireball, you deserve all the dice at the table for that nuke of a spell. Yeah, all the dice at the table, except for mine. Roll stats, I'm very weird about my dice. Don't touch the set that I'm using. And I have this weird thing about them rolling free. I can't have them touch or bounce off anything on the table. That is a little weird. That is a little bit weird.
I mean, sometimes you can only do so much, though, man.
No, he needs a space so he can roll them freely without them touching a single thing on the table.
I'm just saying. I don't know if that's
I hate when people
out.
roll the dice and they roll it on, like, because we use minis. I hate when they roll it on the flip mat and it, like, not hits the minis. Hate when people have, like, no dice control. I've thought about implementing a rule at my table that if the dice end up, like, cockeyed, they will count as a 0. And if they roll off the table, then it basically counts as a fail. I've thought about implementing that house rule because I get annoyed by lack of dice control. Lasagna Druid. I don't really mind as much with books unless they have hot Cheeto fingers. So, yeah. Paula, I think, is the first person that made me realize I had problems because she would put a character sheet in a book and start writing on the character sheet, but like
keep the book open,
but it
like
presses through onto the sheet sometimes, and so that bothered me. What? You know what I'm talking about. You've written in a book, and then like it presses through, so now you got an indentation on the pages now. You can see what you wrote, about your character on my book now because it's indented. I hate that. Anyways, or like the way people flip through it when they're like, and it like, oh, it's gonna rip. Ooh. Like I always worry about that too.
He bought extra players guides just for like the table, so people.
No, I bought that for Dominic. I bought you your own book, so I didn't have to worry about the writing thing. And then we bought one for one of our players because I knew I wasn't going to share with him because he was like 19 years old and had no care in the world. And he ended up giving it back to us.
You got over against like 19-year-olds.
It's not 19-year-olds. It's when 19-year-olds act like they're 14-year-olds.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like when he's like, oh, I'm not going to make it tonight. Oh, how come? Because I'm skateboarding. Wait, you had a commitment to us. And you decided because it's a nice day you're going to go skateboarding, and that's why you bailed on our game. That's a sign of maturity.
Well, it was only bad because he told us, after the session started.
No. He didn't respond.
It was an hour and a half into the session, and he's like, oh, yeah.
Sorry, I was skateboarding.
We're like,
something like
okay,
that.
Cool.
And then it's like, well, dude, if you didn't want to play D&D, or if you don't like it or whatever, just be real with us. At least he gave me the book back and the dice I bought him. Which I really like those dice, the black and purple. I used to play with a person that would keep their dice in the plastic case the whole game and take one out at a time, roll it, and place it back. Okay, well that's a different kind of OCD. Lasagna Druid. Oh no! Not writing on the sheet using an open page in the book. And Rollstat says, hey Juice, I can't make a Saturday. I'm rearranging my sock drawer, man. Sorry. Well, at least that sounds like an old white guy thing to do. I'm just kidding, Rollstats.
I mean, but really, some people have cool socks. Have you ever, do you ever feel like I just have like socks
You
that
know.
are just like white or they're just black,
You
and like
realize
that's it.
we can make awkwardly nerdy and master the game socks.
No, I just mean like I want like I don't know.
You want
cool
some
socks
interesting
with,
socks?
like,
We'll get you some awkwardly nerdy socks.
You know, rainbow socks, or like there's raccoons on my socks or something.
I'm hungry.
Well, I don't know how to help you. You had that amazing lasagna, high quality food.
Yeah, but I had to share it with the kids.
The kids and Lee had a frozen lasagna for dinner.
I love lasagna,
however, had green beans from the garden, and
Yeah, but that's what you
sourdough
like.
bread.
Shut up and take my money,
That's
Juce.
homemade.
All I got to do is put socks up in the store, huh? And then you'll buy them. I don't think I'm putting the socks up. I don't know.
Wait, can we do like knee-high socks and make them have
I think
like
they are.
a couple stripes at
Let
the
me
top?
look. Let me look what they are.
Yeah, see, Cameron's got Star Wars socks and sloth socks.
Like Sloth from the Goonies?
That's like 2 more types of cool socks than what I have, though. Like, I just have like black.
Yeah.
And like maybe like 1 white pair, and then maybe there's 1 pink one.
Did I not put socks up in the store?
I mean, like, I don't know, but I feel like we're designing some socks. You should just make them with like D20 outlines everywhere.
You think so?
Yeah. It's gonna look exactly like this, you guys.
Why is it not loading?
D20 outlines.
Our internet's going slow, I think.
Everywhere. So I've been having some problems.
This might be because I'm streaming, but
no, I've been having problems
it's not
at work. I've had a couple like dropped calls and disconnects from our server and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bandwidth issues.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Let me just look. I'm going to say start designing just to see if the socks are actually an option. So there's posters. There's a lot of cool stuff here now. Pillows, shower curtain, comforter, fleece blanket, beach towel, wall tapestry, cloth face masks, a fanny pack, which I'm still waiting on people to buy. I feel like that would be awesome. Oh, they got it is unlocked. Cool. So the actual masks that like you wear like a sleeve on your neck, they're called the gaiters. Gaiter. They have those now. Backpacks, snapback hats are unlocked. Drawstring bag, all over tote bag. Dad cap, trucker hat, beanie, duffel bag.
Oh my gosh, Rollstat says he's gonna post pics of his stock collection in the Discord because we think he's joking. No, like,
patches.
see, Cameron says, I know people who only wear cool socks. I want to do that too, but I'm slowly acquiring the coolest socks. I think I like collecting things. Yeah, lots of my coworkers have, like, really fun, like...
There is
cool
socks. Okay, I was right. There's joggers, too. You can get joggers.
Oh, like those pants?
Like the pants. All over print women's swimsuit. You could have a swimsuit with my logo on it.
That's going to be a no-go.
Right on your ass.
That's a no-go right there.
All over print women's dress. All over women's print sports bra. Pet hoodies. All right, let's look at the socks. So there's crew socks and socks.
Do you have a picture?
I mean, I can show you real quick. I don't know how I'd show them, but here you go.
Yeah.
So it looks like just a repeated logo, or yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna look at. I'm not actually gonna put this in the store, so don't get excited, guys. Don't get excited. Here we go. We'll put the thumbnail. We'll just see what it looks like. Ah, so in order to do it, you'd have to copy and paste in order to make it the repeated logo. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of cool. They're like starting off. They're like $15. That's not bad. Not bad. Not a bad price. If I do say so myself. Maybe I will throw up some socks.
Just make like can you make D20 socks that are different, like rainbow? Like here's
For
a
you?
red one. Here's
Do you want
an
D20
orange
socks
one.
with rainbows?
Here's a
Oh,
yellow one.
you mean like a solid color, but then repeating the rainbow.
Yeah, or like an outline of a D20. In just like random locations.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could do something like that if people want.
Yeah, see, Paul only has functional sacks.
Yeah, Cameron, are you going to buy the fanny pack? The description to the store, or the description. The link to the store is in the description below. Go on over to the store, click on one of the designs. It'll be like a shirt, but really it's that logo. And then you can go and find the fanny pack, basically. Or actually, no, because you'll go to the storefront. So the storefront should have the fanny pack in it. It'll probably be further down the list, though. I like only having functional socks. Those thin business socks do nothing for me in duty boots. I love the thin business socks because it gets hot sometimes in my game room. And so sometimes I like to wear those so I don't feel like my feet are on fire, you know. You need to sell man bras, LOL. I'm not saying I'll buy them. I'm just saying it would be fun. So I will sell women's bras if you want to wear them as a man. I'm fine with that. You do you,
like,
man.
how much support is in these bras, though?
They look like sports bras, so I don't know. I don't know squat about bras. You're asking the guy at the table.
Well, I think.
How about you buy them and find out? Can we put 2D20s like right on the front? We could put them. They're natural if you want. You want one to be? Oh.
What are you gonna say?
Nothing. We'll talk later about what I was gonna say.
Guys, wish me luck.
Oh man, why would you not put up socks? You have a freaking fanny pack, but you have an issue with socks? I mean fanny packs are far more useful, and you know they're used far more.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Come
Lasagna
on.
Druid is gonna buy a fanny pack. Do it.
Yes, do it. Please
it.
do. And then show me a picture of you wearing it, and I'll put it up on my website. I should have a page of just anybody wearing my merchandise, where I just show all the pictures of them.
Yeah.
You guys could then take a credit on your resume as a model. You could take a modeling credit for rpgjuice.com. Yes, you do need to buy a fanny pack, though, Druid. And Cameron, you should too. Everyone should buy fanny packs. There's 9 of you here. Let's all buy Master of the Game fanny packs. Paula's going to get one too.
We can all color coordinate, you guys, so that, so one person can be red, and then one person can be orange, and yellow, and green.
In 2 years, when Gen Cons open back up, we can all wear the exact same Master of the Game merch on the exact same day. This includes the hat, the COVID masks, the backpack, the shirt, the fanny pack, the leggings.
The joggers. No, the joggers.
The joggers and the socks. And then I just got to figure out how to get some sneakers.
Okay, and you guys just go
and we'll have the Juice fragrance pack by that time, hopefully.
Generic sneakers, and we'll just make buttons that you can pin on.
There's patches I can put in the store for my Teespring.
Yeah, see, perfect.
So there you go. You just sew the patch into the tongue spot, and you're all set.
VIP.
I may be 17, but everyone already says I dress like a dad. Might as well finish the look. So fanny packs are not a dad thing. They like The Rock used to wear a fanny pack. In fact, I think he does wear a fanny pack again. And if The Rock can wear a fanny pack, you can wear a fanny pack.
I'm sorry, but fanny packs, like when I was a kid, like everybody had fanny packs.
Hell
like,
yeah. That's how I had my lunch money.
You need to go on vacation, like where's your fanny pack?
Yep.
Like you know?
You would put your lunch money in there. Like that's what I did when I went to school.
Okay, I mean like I didn't do that, but like
Oh, I did. I was representing the fanny pack hard. Went hard with that.
You're so dumb.
I just keeping it real. I keep it 100 around here. You feel me?
You're so dumb. I don't know what's going on with you.
That's all right. Taco Bell sounds amazing. Taco Bell, Nacho Bell Grande. Didn't they take that off their menu?
I don't know. I have no idea what they
I think they
off
took
their
chips
menu.
off, but people were excited because they left their taco fries or something on there.
I don't know. They removed the majority of stuff I can eat, so.
No one is going to mess with The Rock and tell him he looks like a dad. He'd crush you like a soda can for that. Well, he is a dad, so I guess people would tell him he looks like a dad, right? I would. Okay, so I have a 9-inch long red beard, I think you meant. This fanny pack is going to look extra funny. No, dude, that is going to make it look extra great.
No, it's going to look awesome.
Yeah.
Turquoise.
You can do
it
one
turquoise?
of the other ones. Well, there's my logo. There's, I think the Rainbow D20 as well. I think the Rainbow D20 has a fanny pack.
Dude, maybe you need the rainbow one instead.
Cameron is a freaking Viking, according to Roll Stats.
I love it.
Let's check out the fanny packs. Let's just look.
Viking style.
Viking style. Oh man, see, it won't load.
You're so cool.
It's so dumb.
Oh, that's...
So there's the fanny pack.
Yeah, so it's blue.
You can get it with different colors, though.
That would look great with red.
You can get it purple.
Cameron, just don't get, like, green or something. You know? Oh, purple would look great.
I can get it to work.
Do purple.
I don't know what's going on. Is this the only... Let's see if other websites aren't loading. No, everything else seems to be loading just fine. I mean, obviously my internet speed's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just telling you, I've had like.
So that person looks like they're gonna come tomorrow at 12:30. By the way.
Okay.
Anyways, sorry to get quiet on you guys.
You got distracted.
I did. Well, you know.
Like the rest of us are over here trying to help Cameron with his fanny pack.
Well, I could use that 30 and buy the overhead thing. No, I'm just kidding. Might not need it if we find that the mic stand works for it. That's kind of what I'm hoping.
So purple fanny pack, Cameron.
Yeah, do the purple. Or the whatever you want to do, man. Don't listen to us.
Yeah.
Don't listen to us. Do you, Cameron. If you think something looks better with your red beard, then dang it, do it. Yeah, see? Cameron loves the Viking style. Stands on a long ship. Hey, seriously though, do they have skull caps like toques? Because I didn't see one, and I would buy the hell out of that. So they do have beanies, like the fold-up fronts, I think. So when my internet's either working or the website is working a little better, is it loading well for you guys? Because for me, like all the images and stuff aren't loading up correctly. So I'm assuming it's like a server issue, but it might be my internet. But at the same time, I don't feel like I'm experiencing any buffering. So that's weird. But I'll look into that. If you want me to throw something like that up there, we'll definitely get that on there. If there's any other requests, I will get those on there too. I want to get the giant wall tapestry.
Please submit your request now.
We could cover this whole wall, like 13 feet almost, with like a $90 tapestry with my logo.
Yeah, we could also just leave it gray.
I mean,
and not
that's
spend
fun.
$90.
That's exciting.
You know, I'm just saying.
That'd be so exciting.
I know, it's super dynamic.
I think I'm gonna add the trucker hat.
Completely unexpected.
So the stuff that's normally locked, like the hats and stuff, I have to go through an approval process still. It's not like the normal design process. So I will see, because I do want a hat, even for myself, because when I don't shave my head for like a week or two, it starts to grow out a little. I want a hat with my logo.
He wears a lot of hats.
I do.
It was an adjustment when we first met because, like, nobody in my family wears hats. Like, that's not a thing.
Like, to the point where they would say under their breath to others in the family, I can't believe he wears a hat in the house.
Yeah, my family doesn't wear hats. It was sort of a, you know.
I've helped loosen up her family a little bit.
Probably. It's probably true.
Yeah, RollStats said the images aren't loading for me either. The page loads, but not the images. Yeah, something's going on with them right now.
Maybe they're just having issues.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad to know that. So I'll look at it tomorrow and see if I can get some stuff up there.
I mean, that doesn't explain why I've had bandwidth issues for work, though.
No, you just have bandwidth issues.
Talk too much.
You're not wired in, and you're on the far end through old house walls.
I know.
That's the real reason you're having issues.
I know, but it is what it is for right now.
I mean, yeah, we could pay the electrician guy to come out and run another cord.
I mean, well, but it was working fine for the longest time, and it's been an issue like the last 2-3 days. So.
Gotcha. Oh my gosh. So yes, you should do that. So Lasagna Druid said, I should get a Master of the Game tattoo. Gotta represent. If you get that tattoo, I'll send you a free shirt. You're only 17 though. Wait till you're 18.
Yeah, we're not.
You don't want to make a life decision at 17. But when you turn 18, wearing that for the rest of your life is a great idea.
We're not condoning,
Mm-hmm.
anything illegal.
That would be amazing. Why is that illegal? That's not illegal.
You can't go somewhere and get a tattoo done. That's illegal.
Right? So hang on. So Rollstat says if we get a Master of the Game and or awkwardly nerdy tattoos, there has to be a special Patreon tier for that. Okay,
we'll make you.
I will make $100 Patreon tier that if you pay in starting now until we can all meet up at Gen Con, I will pay for your Master of the Game or awkwardly nerdy tattoo at that time. That's like 2 years of $100 a month, though.
I mean, you gotta feel real committed, y'all. I'm just saying.
In case you can't tell, I'm joking. But
the real question, Roll Stats, is if you can't get both, which one are you gonna choose?
Oh.
And what? I mean, is somebody gonna be offended? What are you gonna do?
Will you use glow in the dark ink too?
Will you get it done on your head?
Oh, yes. What will you give him if he gets a Master Game face tattoo?
Dude, I will buy you an entire outfit. We will outfit you
with Master of the Game stuff.
Yeah.
You could then match your tattoo.
Yes.
Rollstat said deal.
We'll pay for your hotel room at Gen Con. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be a good one. That'd be a really good one.
That's like a even higher tier.
I mean, yeah. So just so you know, there's no restriction in how far away from Gen Con that hotel room is. So if we find you an Airbnb that's an hour away for $25 a night, I mean that's okay. That's not against the rules.
If it has rats, I mean I don't know what to tell you.
There's no way to vet that. Sorry.
We couldn't have guessed it was gonna be like that.
No, some of those rooms get expensive. Within a block of Gen Con. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm sure.
There were people talking about normal rooms being $600 a night. A couple years ago. I was like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah. They're like, it's got 2 beds and a bathroom.
Dude, Roll Stats, you would be our biggest fan.
I mean, he already is our biggest fan.
I mean, that's probably
true. He said nothing above the neck. Sorry, but I'll get a tattoo on my arm or leg. I love ink. I'm planning sleeves now. You can be a part of the sleeve. Dude, I that would be amazing. You would make my day. I also want to see what else you have planned. I think you should do it in that spot on the front that's in your belt line, where the 2 people usually put those stars, right there on the front of the hip bone. I think you should put Master the logo twice on you, right there on the front of your hip bone, under the belt line. But I have clients. I can't do anything above the neck. I feel you. That makes sense. I get it. But I also still want to know what's going on the rest of the sleeve. Yeah, I know what you mean. Paul Ross said thug life. Isn't that what Tupac's tattoo on his stomach was? It kind of arched around his stomach? Yeah, his belly button. Thug and then life? It was just one. I know, but it was up. It was higher, and it was big, I thought. I don't know. Let's look it up. Since we know our internet's not the problem. And the only reason I know that is because... Yeah, see? It's a lot bigger. Yeah, I said it was... That's what I said. Oh, you said around the belly button. No, I said above. No. I even gestured. There were So why does pointing at your boobs mean...
Stop. That's not what I was doing. You're looking at it at an angle.
All right.
I can't.
No, that would be cool. We would have to do something for you if you got a tattoo with our logo. That would be wild. That would be wild. Like, that would be... Like, I can't believe someone just did that. That would put me in the conversation with Nerdarchy and Michael from Unmade Gaming. They've had people get their logo tattooed on them.
Have they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I will feel like I made it. That would be right up there with my YouTube's 100,000 subscriber button when I finally get that.
If you do that, he needs a picture of it so he can frame it.
I was going to say, if you want to send me a framed picture of that, I will put it up on my wall in my game room. So everyone who comes over can be like, what's that? And be like, someone got my logo tattooed on them. It is a dream come true.
It's a thing. It's a whole thing, you guys.
Right. No, that would be awesome, though.
Okay, we might have to be done soon because
Yep.
it is like.
Yep. I was just looking at that. That's why I got quiet. Was seeing where you were at on that wing.
Not close enough to just finish the wing.
Okay, so just finish.
I said not.
I know, so just finish and see if you challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Are you gonna be painting tomorrow off stream?
I don't know.
You talked about painting this off stream a little bit.
There's just so much that's just like so repetitive, you guys. I feel like you're just like
You're still basically on the wings. What? I'm just saying, we're 2 nights in. You said this is gonna be quick and easy.
No, I didn't say that.
This is
I
like
said
a
I
3
didn't
week,
think
4
it was
week
gonna
thing.
be hard.
You said you didn't
Not
think it would
that
take
was-
that long. Guys, do you remember our streams last week where we're painting the alchemist and my Duke guy? Did she not say, I don't think it's going to take that long?
I believe I said I don't think it's going to be that hard.
No, I think you said it was going to be hard. It just wasn't going to take that long. I don't know. Roll Stats was here. Cameron was here. I don't know.
They're awfully quiet right now.
Yeah, what happened? Did our stream stop working? No, it's still working on my end. It still says it's working here.
They don't want to offend me now.
Stream is healthy as of 8:32 p.m. Nothing sooner than that. Okay.
That's questionable.
Analytics, average watch time 23 minutes. Oh, nice. Very nice.
All right, guys.
All right.
I think we're gonna have to wrap this up.
All right, guys. I'm gonna see if I can bribe her and get some Taco Bell, but
It's not gonna happen, probably.
But make sure you guys have a good night, and I'll be here tomorrow talking with Dicey Encounters. So this was Master the Game. I'm Juice. This is our master painter over here, Paula. We will see you guys next time. Game on.